Okay, so today we're going to talk about The Matrix, made by I think they're the Wachowski brothers. They were brothers, now they're transgender women, I think. I think that's how that works. But anyway, they created a great movie in The Matrix. This gentleman by the name of Mr. Anderson, he's played by Keanu Reeves. He's a hacker. He's like real balls deep in the whole, like computer world. So he gets approached by this organization of people, and basically they plant some kind of bug in his stomach, right? No big deal. He's freaking out. He wakes up. He's like, I don't know what happened. Then he gets approached by another group of people because a cellular phone, is put in like a shipping container and shipped to his office. And he picks up the phone, and it's Morpheus, played by old Lawrence Fishburne. So Morpheus is like, hey, so these guys are coming to get you, and you gotta bounce. So he's like, okay, cool. So he falls in, he says, go into that office. So Morpheus knows exactly where everything is, because little do we know, he's reading into the Matrix. But he knows exactly where everything is, and he's like, hey, go outside and walk out that window. He's in a skyscraper. He'll walk out that window. He's like, bro, I'm not doing that. So he goes out there and he drops the phone. The phone falls to his death. And then he says, nah, fuck this. I'm not doing this. Goes back inside. And then they fucking get him. They got him. So then Trinity, the female protagonist, who ends up being in love with Neo, you'll see how it goes. Then she is basically was there, and she's like, well, they got him. And then Morpheus is like, shit, whatever. So then, after they put that bug thing in his stomach, Morpheus and his crew, they pick him up in the middle of the night and like hook some machine to his stomach to try to suck this bug thing out. And he thought it was fake. He thought he'd drink, because remember, he woke up after it happened. He thought it was fake. So then they suck it out of him, and he's like, oh my god, that thing's real. And he's like, well, we got a lot of shit to talk to you about, bro. So then they go in there, and he basically explains to him that the world that we live in is not even the world. It's like a computer generated like simulation, right? And that the real world that we live in is run by machines, and humans are basically like the rebellious forces trying to stay alive, approaching extinction, right? So basically, everywhere you go in your life, everywhere that you live, they're telling old Neo, they're telling him, hey, it's fake, it's all a computer simulation, and you got a choice you want to make. You can either A, go back to the way it was, like you think it is, and just believe that this simulation is your real life and that you're really living it. Or you take this other pill and you join the real world, you really learn what it's all about, and you learn your potential inside this computer program. So obviously he goes with the other pill, I think it's the blue pill. And basically he starts this journey of being taught and programmed how to be next level in these simulations. So they end up getting in his head, hey, he's the one, right? Turns out what the one is, he's the guy that's supposed to liberate the human beings from these robotic entities. You gotta basically the chosen one, right? So they put him in a simulation, and he fights Morpheus. He says, I know Kung Fu, because he automatically knows it, because they just put it in his brain. So he's like, then he fights Morpheus, and Morpheus is teaching him, saying, hey, you know how to do this. It's not news. We've told you that you know how to do it. And he's like, okay. So then he finally beats Morpheus' ass. He's like, you did it, great. So then he takes him into a simulation where it's like basically a city of people. It looks no different than the world. And then next thing you know, he turns around and there's a gun in his face. And then it stopped. And Morpheus goes, stop. And then the whole thing stops. And then he says, he's like, he got freaked out and everything. And he's like, well, this is the agent. This is basically those guys that were coming to get you that put that bug in you. They're viruses, basically, in this computer simulation. And they can travel in and out of all these different simulations and avenues, but they're the bad guys. And then he tells me, he said, he gets done with the spiel, and Neo says, so you're telling me I'm going to have to dodge bullets? And then Morpheus says, one day, I'm telling you, you won't have to. And then it comes back later. So they get in this simulation, Neo's going, he's fairly new at all this stuff. It's a whole crew of guys, and go in the simulation, and then the fucking agents are in the simulation. So they capture Morpheus and everything, because Morpheus is saving Neo, because the agents reach in the wall, because they're hiding in the wall. The agents reach in the wall, and start grabbing Neo. So Morpheus is like, fuck all this noise. He bashes through the wall, but uses his head, bashes through the wall, jumps down on him, and starts fighting him. But nobody could fight an agent. Like, nobody at all in the simulation or out. So basically, Neo being the one that he's the people's champion. He's supposed to be the guy that's supposed to be able to fight him, but he's too new at this. They're not. He's not gonna be able to do shit. So they take Morpheus, they take him away. So now the movie's amped up in the respect that, hey, we gotta go get Morpheus. That's what they do. So they go get him, and basically Neo's still learning the ropes about how to deal in the simulation and all that. And then so they get Morpheus, he jumps out, they go in a helicopter, jumping through the skyscraper. All this is fake because it's a simulation, right? None of it's real, but it appears to be real, right? So, jumps in the building, grabs Morpheus, they swing out, gone, right? The way you get out of the simulation and back into the real world is, there's some kind of like phone thing where basically you call, and when you pick up that landline, it sucks you out of the simulation and you're back in the real world. You're back into your consciousness. And they sit you down in this chair before all this goes down. And basically, so they save Morpheus and everything. And then everybody's got out except for Neo. Neo's on the run, and the agents are chasing him. And the agents can pretty much turn into anybody, like in the simulation. So they're chasing him and chasing him. And they finally get to this building. And he gets to the phone. He picks up the phone. Pow, pow. He gets shot like twice or 3 times in the chest. Puts the phone down, puts his hand right here, and he falls. He falls back on the wall, and he slides down the wall. The next thing you know, like, I guess it's just like this realization of who he was or whatever. He like stands back up, and then they just start unloading bullets on him, and he just puts his hand up like this, and the bullets come down the hallway, and they just stop. And he grabs one of them, and then it drops to the floor. And then he goes in there and like they run at him, and he fucking like started fighting them and everything, like it was nothing, like one-handed. And then so he basically beat them then. They suck him out of the simulation, and then the movie ends with Neo flying up into the clouds with his sunglasses on with some Led Zeppelin playing. That was it.